Today's topic of discussion is President-elect Barack Obama. With us is a special guest host, Sharon Gordon, president of TSO Productions, an accomplished journalist, publicist, event coordinator, and promoter extraordinaire. Over the years, her distinctive voice has been heard on several radio programs. Today, her raving as part of the Midnight Ravers Collective can be heard on WBAI 99.5 FM. Her writing has been published in Dub Missive, Everybody's, Roots Vibe, Untold, and Coogee magazines. Carrie Marshall attended the State University at Buffalo, where she earned an economics degree. She went on to work for a finance company that specializes in taxes and mortgages, and then to the Bank of New York Mellon, where she has been working for the last year and a half. She works in the Global Finance Department. Dr. Andree-Nicole McLaughlin is professor and chairperson of interdisciplinary studies at Medgar Evers College of the City University of New York, where she is also professor of women's studies, English, and cross-cultural literature. Dr. McLaughlin attended the Democratic National Convention in Denver, Colorado, where she witnessed Obama's winning of the nomination of the Democratic Party. She is also among the members of Women for Obama, which is celebrating his victory with a pre-inauguration gala in Brooklyn on January 15th. Professor McLaughlin has contributed to the soon-to-be-released book by State University of New York Press, Go, Tell Michelle African American Women's Letters to the First Lady, which will be available before the date of the official inauguration on January 20th. We'll be right back with the discussion with Sharon Gordon. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Zing TV. I'm Sharon Gordon, and I'm here with two of my dear sisters, Dr. McLaughlin and Carrie Ann. Well, one of the things I'm happy about that, Zing could actually have us come in and do this is historic. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yes.
Were you a longtime supporter of Barack, Carrie Ann?
Oh, since the start.
What about you, Don?
Yes, I was also.
Well, so we're all in the longtime supporter club, because, all of a sudden now everybody's claiming that. But anyway. Talk to me about this debate that just happened in Harlem. I was really concerned about that. That question that was asked, is
the election of Barack Obama good for black people, yes or no? That was the debate, and apparently 1,200 people came to hear the people who said yes and people who said no, and the elders and people who made comments. I thought it was a little premature. He hasn't taken office yet.
Well, right, he hasn't taken office yet. That's one way to look at it. I think they really do need to give the brother a chance, but I also think that the question itself was not the right question. I think if you're going to ask that question, that we should have been asking that question months ago.
97% of black people voted for him.
Well.
So the community answered the question.
There you go. And I think that one of the things that people need to understand is that, to me, it's not, it should be, are black people ready for a Barack Obama presidency? Are we ready, Carrie Ann, for a Barack Obama presidency?
I think we are in a lot of ways, and in a lot of ways we aren't, because we're not quite sure how to deal with it. It's a situation we've never had before, and I don't think we really know what to expect from him at this point. So, yes, you're right. I think they should have asked the question a long time ago. Very long time ago, just to know, at least like have a list of demands.
Going, exactly.
Yeah, have a list of demands for him once he gets into the office. So
one of the things, Dr. McLaughlin, Andrea, that I find very interesting is I noticed that academics and historians and all of these folks are all resistant to change. It's as if they're all forecasting gloom and doom in the White House. As you see Barack putting his President-elect Barack Obama putting his advisors in place, and to me that reflects that they are not ready for change. And when you look at Barack's, on his official declaration poster, it says, "Be the change."
Be the change.
He did say change has come.
Right.
So how do we get folk into that psyche, Doc? How do we get them into understanding that change has come?
Well, I think in his acceptance speech that night, he said, my winning is not the victory. Mm-hmm. The victory is our opportunity to work together for change.
Absolutely.
And that's where all of us can be involved. The grassroots level, in their places of employment, and the community, dealing with all the issues affecting us: health care, education, jobs, decent housing, creating peace and justice around the world.
Getting us out of Iraq, of
Yes,
course.
getting us out of that ridiculous war. So there's a lot of work to be done.
A lot of work, and we have to start getting organized on the ground level.
Yes.
And I mean, as a community organizer, you know he's very inclined to be at least, wanting to hear what we're doing, what we have to offer.
Throughout his campaign, he said change starts from the bottom up.
Exactly.
You know
one of the things, Carrie Ann, as someone who is involved in finances,
Right.
talk to me about, Barack has been getting a whole lot of flack with this whole new tax plan of his. I think that it was so interesting to see the Republicans all of a sudden now they're like, okay, we're on board, But talk to me, as a financial person, when you see you have secretaries who are paying more in taxes than their bosses. I mean, we have to reverse the trend in these regressive tax laws. I mean, talk to me about that. How can you break it down for our community to understand what Barack is doing, President-elect Barack Obama is doing?
Well, with the tax cut policy, he's really just trying to stimulate the economy, just like with the rebates that they had last year.
Okay.
It didn't. I don't think it worked the way the government wanted it to work, because a lot of people either saved it or used it to pay off debt.
Stick a pin right there. When you say save it, so the stimulate, we need to understand that stimulate means to go out and spend
Yes,
the money.
we actually have to spend the money. We have to help these companies that are also suffering.
Okay.
It's a circle that's gonna go around. So we put the money in the economy, it gets recycled, and it comes back to us eventually.
We're going to come back with this, because you're going to go into the whole Madoff who made off and what happened on Wall Street. So let's take a break, and we're going to come back with this exciting discussion about the historic presidency of Barack Obama. Are you ready to be the change that you say you want to be? Catch you on the other side. Talk to me about the state that we're in. It's been 28 years or 26 years since Reagan said, we got to get government off your backs. And, this slide started.
Well, they said in this last year alone, 2007, millions of jobs were lost right here in the United States.
Right here.
But I reflect back on something that the late Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said years ago, decades ago, of course. He was killed in 1968. Right. But he said that the kind of economic system we're in need of will combine the best features of different economic systems.
Different models have to come. Well, Carrie, this is your area. I mean, we have to look at different models. I mean, what they just did for Wall Street, that was socialism. Yeah. Here are the Republicans doing socialism. We should be owning these banks. Shouldn't we, Carrie? Isn't that the way it's supposed to go if we're bailing them out?
Ideally, yes, we'd want to owe the banks, because technically if our taxes are bailing them out, we probably should have shares.
It's our money, right? Okay.
But I mean, that's not the way the government system works.
Because we're capitalist? Is that what it is?
I guess you could say that. But we pay taxes so the government can use the money as they see fit. And if it's to bail out companies, if they deem it fit, they're going to do that.
But something is just inherently wrong with that. And here we see someone like a Bernie Madoff, doing what he's doing with his Ponzi scheme. And we know there are a lot of other schemes, but I think the whole system is a scheme. Because when Reagan came in and all his boys decided this is how we're going to do it, Greenspan, all of them, this was planned. And I challenge anyone to go back 26 years and see when this, where do we reset the clock on this? Okay, and here we are. And that's why Dr. King said we needed to adapt different models. We're going to have to adopt different models.